What is up? It's your boy C-Dubs here back with another reaction video. Today, we are going to be doing, like I did the previous video with the Green Bay Packers and the Bears, we're going to be doing the Rams and the Panthers. Now, if you were to tell me earlier in the season that the Panthers would have made the playoffs, I would be shocked as you all are. Panthers defined playoff contention late in the season, the last game per se of the NFL season, as the Bucs came into town and they won. So here's the thing: Panthers were the underdogs, or more say called overrated in the playoffs. Now, mind you, I'm a Bryce Young fan. You know, he is very underrated. He's one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the league, in my eyes, at least. Of course, on the other side of the field with Matt Stafford, MVP candidate. You know, like, Stafford has been showing out all season. Bryce Young's been in the shadow of Matthew Stafford in his little season that he had with the Panthers. But that's besides the point. Let's recap. I have the stats pulled up on my other monitor. Let's recap the Rams and Carolina Panthers wild card game. Now, we had two wild card games. I did a video about the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. Go watch that if you have not seen that yet. But let's recap on what happened yesterday with the Rams and Panthers. Now, the ending of the game was more so how each team played in the second half. 17 points combined in the second half for both teams. Both teams had 17 points combined, or 17 points for those selective teams. But Rams held on to the 17-14 lead going into halftime against the Panthers. Now, what the Panthers could have done differently was more or less go more in the air than anything. Bryce Young with 21 completions out of 40 attempts, 264 yards, a touchdown and interception. Now, with me, I'm more or less establishing the run game first, which they did. They did the whole entire game. Chuba Hubbard, 13 carries, 46 yards, and 2 touchdowns. His longest game was 8. The Rams defense held that rushing attack, but couldn't hold them in the red zone. See, that's what the Rams have struggled on this entire season, was the end zone game, and they have not prevailed yet. I see a turnaround with the Rams soon during this whole playoff run that they have to possibly revamp that end zone defense and make it to where they are the most unstoppable defense, because they can do that. They have the ability to do that with all the weapons on the defensive side. That's just all play calling, and coaches need to run it. But I feel like the end zone defense for the Los Angeles Rams can more or less make them the team to beat in the playoffs. But Jalen Cocker, 18 for the Panthers, 9 catches, 134 yards, and a touchdown. Now, I play fantasy. You know, I have not seen Jalen Cocker go off at all this year. He put up 9 catches, 134 yards, and a touchdown in the playoffs. Panthers have such a great future ahead of them with Chuba Hubbard, with Bryce Young, with Jalen Coker, and even McDellum too. He's a rookie. He put up 5 for 81 yards as well with 7 targets. Now, watching back this game and watching the games in general, I feel like the Panthers could have done better of spreading the ball around more, because they had 9 catches, 134 yards, and a touchdown, but their second was 5 for 81, and their third was 3 for 22 with Tommy Tremble. Next season, of course, with the Panthers, it's going to be a revamp season. This was the season of revamping. Next season is next season. Next season is undeniably Panthers' future. Now, this is the first playoff run for the Panthers since they went to the playoffs and the Super Bowl with Cam Newton. Now, we'll get to Cam Newton later in the video, because that story is very interesting, because Cam Newton has been talking about coming back. Now, we'll hold off on that until later in the video. Defensively, had 1 interception from Mike Jackson. Now, the defense needs to step up turnover wise. Panthers, the record says 8-10, which more than likely they went into the playoffs as an 8-9 team, which is unheard of a lot of time. But let's go to the Rams perspective and talk about the Rams. Matthew Stafford, 24 for 42, 304 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Matthew Stafford, in my eyes, solidified the MVP candidate. Now, the MVP candidate can run two ways. It can run Drake May and the Patriots and or Matt Stafford and the Rams. Now, with how Stafford has been building up all season, this is his MVP season. He hasn't had an MVP season yet. Drake May still has opportunities on opportunities. This is only his second season in the NFL. He's already an MVP candidate. Drake May from North Carolina for the Patriots have a long road ahead of him, but more or less Drake May will be MVP candidate for the next couple of years and maybe even win it. But rushing ability. They played 13 carries for Kyren Williams, 57 yards, 11 carries for Blake Corum, and 45 yards. Now, this is tricky because the running back room for the Los Angeles Rams, I might be rambling, but the running back room for the Los Angeles Rams have been carried by 2 people, Kyren Williams and Blake Corum. Now, last season, Kyren Williams was more undeniably the running back 1, as Blake Corum was coming from Michigan as a rookie, but that's besides the point. Kyren Williams has been set in stone as a starting back 1, but I think that might change next season. Here's why. Blake Corum has undeniably proven to be a great running back in the NFL as a great running back 2. Now, preseason might roll around. They might do some adjustments, but I feel like Blake Corum could have that running back 1 spot if he performs great in the offseason and is in preseason as well, because next season is going into his second year in the NFL. Of course, he's going to play in the preseason, but I just feel like, how things have turned around for the Rams. If Kyren Williams can proceedly get 67 yards and a touchdown every single game, he's solidified himself as a running back 1 for next season. But Blake Corum has a strong case ahead of him for that RB1 spot for the Rams. But let's go to receiving. 10 catches, 111 yards, and 1 touchdown for the GOAT, Puka Nacua. Puka is undeniably the best wide receiver in the league. You can make a case where it could be Jamar Chase, it could be Justin Jefferson, it could be A.J. Brown, it could be anyone. Puka or JSN. Sorry to leave him out. But Puka has undeniably, in my eyes, set as a stone as the best wide receiver in the league today. Now, will that reign continue next season or the season prior to that? We don't know. But as of now, Puka Nacua is wide receiver 1 in the entire league. Coming in at number 2 for receiving for the Rams, Devontae Adams, 5 for 72, 0 touchdowns. And then the next, Kyren Williams had a receiving touchdown, and also Kobe Parkinson had a receiving touchdown too. Which, talking about going back to that running back room, Kyren Williams is more or less more productive on the receiving side of things, as more or less more than Blake Corum is. Blake Corum is a running back style. He's not a receiving back. Kyren can do both, so we'll see how that goes for the Rams next season. Now, defensively, they had 1 interception. They had 1 interception there. So defensively could have done better. Offensively, with the rushing game, definitely could have done better. But, Stafford and the Rams beat Panthers and Bryce Young 34-31 heading into the second round of the playoffs. Today we got a couple games today. I know we have the 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles today. I'm not sure what other games are on tonight, but I know that game's on. I think the other games are on next. So we have Bills and Jaguars playing now. Bills are winning by 3, as you can see here. We'll put it up to the camera quickly. 13-10, and Jacksonville just got a field goal, so it's 13-10 updated. Bills are currently winning 13-10 right now, as they just got a field goal. The next games are at 4:30 today. We have my Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers, which that will be a game as well. And then later, we'll do videos on this. I'll do videos on all of these. And then tonight's game, Chargers, Patriots. Now, that's going to be an exciting game because, of course, Drake May has been an MVP candidate and leading his team all the way for a 14-3 record into the playoffs. I feel like Patriots win that one. And then tomorrow for the final game of the wild card, like I said before, we'll do videos on this regularly and for this entire playoffs. We got Houston and the Steelers. The Steelers are losing. I don't think Aaron has got it in him anymore, but we'll talk about that more when that time comes. But I got CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans winning that game. I have Patriots winning against the Chargers. I'm not gonna say anything about the Bills and Jaguars because that's already on. And then I have the Eagles beating the 49ers, of course, as you can see with the Hurts jersey back there. But that's the video today. Let me know your reactions about the wild card day one for the wild card of the NFL playoffs. Let me know. It was an exciting day one. Can this be an exciting game day two? We'll see. Thanks, guys, for watching. This is your boy C-Dubs, and your boy is out. Peace.